Alright everyone, I think they're finally live. Third time is a charm. I do apologize as this is my first live stream, so I have had some difficulties with getting everything set up. I am still getting an error message saying that I'm having issues with my data stream, so I'm not sure if this is actually going to work correctly. It might get shut off, or we might have some lag, and I think that is where some of the audio issues are coming in. So I do want to welcome everyone to NYCryptoTalk. I'll try to make this as interesting as possible. I do plan on having this as a regular thing, and I do plan on inviting other individuals to the live stream to add their valuable information. I hope someone comes on the chat to confirm that they are hearing some audio. I am still seeing the word stream status bad on my side. Okay, thank you Jizzy Mac, I appreciate that. So I am getting some feedback here that the live stream is working. So I do have a handful of items. I know that some of the people, Donnie and Saeed, who are my regular people always responding, they should probably be joining. I do apologize, they have been waiting for this as well. So I am planning on going through a handful of projects today just to go over some news. I also want to get some feedback from people as far as projects that are kind of hot right now, and just kind of go over things that I think are interesting with cryptocurrency. Thanks, Saeed, I appreciate it. So currently I'm just going to do a refresh of CoinMarketCap. We're sitting at $342 billion market cap, and obviously we have had some serious issues in the past couple of weeks. I'm not going to go too much into details because there is a lot of things that could be indicative of what is causing this. Obviously there's a lot of talks about the SEC and a lot of things about ICOs as far as regulatory bodies are concerned, and just crypto in general. So I really have no sentiment as far as how we're doing right now, because we've kind of been going sideways for the past month. If we look back at 3 months, we're still a little bit above what we were seeing back in April when we did a little bit of a deep dive down into the 200 sub 250 billion market cap. So right now 342 billion, I'm kind of happy with that. Obviously I would have liked a retracement back to 500, as everybody probably would have. So the market is doing pretty good. Bitcoin has not tested 8,000 in quite a while. We're sitting at around $7,600. Ethereum is at 600. It had pretty much the same movement that Bitcoin has been having, and then all the other cryptocurrencies alike have kind of had similar motions to Bitcoin with the peg that it has. So I did see some interesting news that I kind of want to go over before I touch some projects. One is talks about the 51% attack. I know this has always been a fear, and a lot of projects have had a lot of fear, uncertainty, and doubt about their projects being attacked by the 51% vector, and this is now being talked about by some tech people as far as how this could happen and how costly it could be. So in order to do this, they need to be able to have enough hashing power to be able to take over 51% of the actual proof of work pool. So a lot of projects could be actually vulnerable to this attack. I couldn't think of the word. So this is live, so I do apologize if I do make a couple of pauses here and there. I am human. So there are some vulnerabilities for certain projects with this, so always something to worry for. Anything 51%, if you think about it in the corporate structure, if you have 51% of a company, then you are the majority stakeholder. So same thing goes for cryptocurrency. ZEC. Alright, Saeed, I will definitely take a peek at that once I start going into some projects. Another piece of news is MasterCard. So MasterCard has a patent out now that could potentially put credit cards on the public blockchain. I thought this was interesting. Everything with distributed ledger I think is really interesting, and how data can be then tracked and traced a lot more thoroughly than most traditional ways of documenting any type of transaction. So if MasterCard eventually puts themselves on the public blockchain, that could be big news, with MasterCard pulling out of a lot of projects, or at least kind of pushing against a lot of projects last year that were putting their logo on it, as well as Visa. This would make sense for them to be able to go to the blockchain route. A lot of big companies are starting to do their own due diligence on blockchain, so I'm not a big fan of that, but it is what it is. So search giant Baidu is launching a blockchain space game, which is kind of interesting. So if you guys are not familiar, Baidu is probably the #1 search engine in most of Asia. So it is the Google of Asia. And if they're opening a blockchain space game, I was just wondering how it's going to work. I just thought it was interesting because there are a lot of space-related blockchain games. I don't know why, but it seems to be behind CryptoKitties. Blockchain and space are a big thing nowadays. So Jizzy Mac, you said that they put out how much it will actually cost to attack each network. Was that in this article, or was that in... Okay, so this is the estimated cost of a 1-hour attack. So, does it say how much? So, is that in millions? Is that in... What is that in? You're here for pizza. I got plenty of pizza. What kind of pizza do you want? So, yeah, I would like to know actually how much it would cost. I mean, it might cost as little as $719 to attack using rented computing power. Obviously, I don't believe that that's true. So, you know, some of these things, when it comes to the news, I don't go too much into detail because as far as certain sources are, I really would like to see the technical side of things. Being from a technical background, I don't see putting out like $719 as a potential for a 51% attack, because I think that's insane. One thing that just came up in the news, also one thing I don't really trust, is the Jamie Dimon situation. He goes back and forth so many times about cryptocurrency. Now his current statement is just beware. He went from hating it to liking it, now just saying just beware. So I thought this was interesting. This guy has no idea what's going on pretty much. He is as much changing his mind as my 4-year-old does. The SEC chairman recently just said that Bitcoin is not a security, but most likely all ICOs are. So this is a big talk. I know John McAfee is going on a rant right now, or rampage, basically saying that yes, most ICOs at its current state and how it functions would be considered a security, but the actual projects themselves, once they are publicized or out of an ICO phase, would not be a security and would be considered a utility token. So, you know, take this with a grain of salt, but with ICOs being tagged potentially as a security, this could be a huge thing for anybody who lives in the United States who wants to be able to be involved with an ICO. So Alipay's parent company secures $14 billion for a blockchain development. So I thought this was really interesting. The parent company, Ant International, has entered into definitive agreements with investors to secure a $14 billion in a Series C equity financing round. That's insane, guys. If Alipay winds up coming into the blockchain space, they are one of the best and fastest processors for any type of transaction in the fintech space. If Alipay winds up coming into blockchain, they are going to massacre a lot of companies because they are really good at what they do right now. And if they move into blockchain, obviously it depends on who they get or what they get as far as tech is concerned, to be able to do the same thing that they do right now in traditional fintech in blockchain. So looking at projects, I have like one or two, then I will jump into ZEC. But the first one is Bottos, and I did talk about Bottos recently with the masternode information, which we still really haven't done too much of an update on. They did release this, and do apologize, my throat is killing me. I've been sick for the past 2 weeks. but they did produce a bi-weekly report on the major events. One was the mainnet, which was May 31st, and then they talk about the actual event launch and how they will actually publicize the Bottos 3.0 service and the source code for developers. And then they go into more information about the project. But one of the things that I thought was really interesting with Bottos is, let's see, other than that they have a very active GitHub, which I'm always a big fan of, if you guys have seen any of my videos, was their beta testing. So some apps, some projects are now looking to do data mining on their phones, and they're actually looking for beta testers for both Android and iOS for 200 people. Right now the application will be in Chinese, but they will translate it for you, and I thought this was interesting because I did apply. Hopeful, but obviously I have no chance in hell to get it. But it would be really nice to be able to test around and play with a data mining app for Bottos. And once I get more information on this, that would be awesome because I'm a big fan of it. They also launched their Bottos data marketplace. I know I talked about their mainnet, but they also have their data marketplace, which is where individuals can go and buy big data or AI information from them once they have that information available. So EOS is another thing that I was going to talk about, hoping that there would be some news on the project, but if you guys are familiar, EOS is having some issues releasing their 1.0 mainnet. Block 1 has had some issues. They did just release a handful of bounties for tech. I think they released at least 5 to 10 bounties of about $10,000 each for some major defects that they were working. So it looks like they still have some issues with their release. They might have pushed this out to next week. I'm hearing June 14th. This could eventually change, so I was hoping to get more information, and EOS would actually be live, and I was going to give more information on this platform. I am interested in EOS. I do plan on doing a deep dive project review on the platform. I just not have had a chance to do so. It has just been kind of hard to be able to go through it, and EOS is one of those major platforms that takes me even longer than it would traditionally take to actually do a major review. So SophiaTX has had some more information about their platform. They've had some updates. I do actually have, yeah, I think there is some lag. Sorry, Said. I hate this, man. So I have no idea what is going on right now. Can you guys hear me at least, or is it the audio that's lagging? Yeah, I tried to shut down all my applications. I'm going to try to see if I can pop out the chat and remove some windows here. So I will talk through this. I know it's kind of useless to have no video with the actual... Yeah, sorry about that, guys. Sorry, Daz. Hey, welcome. Glad you're here. So I am reaching out to SophiaTX. I did reach out to Yaroslav last week about doing an interview. I was hoping to announce that today for you guys. I am still waiting to hear back from him. He did agree to doing a interview with me, but the issue was for getting all the questions and getting the approvals from their marketing team. So I am still waiting to hear back from them so that we can figure out a date for the actual interview. Yep, and I'm seeing the bad stream status right now. Really have no idea what's going on. Let me see if I can make some changes. I can't even make any changes here. Yeah, sorry guys. I do apologize. Are you at least getting some audio, or is it just the video that's lagging? Chris, what's up? Alright, I'm not even seeing a response back on the messenger, so I'm sure that there's some issues with some lag. So I'm going to try to wrap this up shortly, because I do apologize everybody getting on this for this live stream, and I'm having some serious issues. I'm going to have to test this with one of my other accounts and try to see what is going on. I am trying to use new streaming software that actually is less CPU intensive, but for whatever reason I guess it is not working correctly, and I need to figure out what the bitrate is for my videos. So guys, I do apologize for this. I will cut this short, and I will try to make an update video. I do have a video coming out tomorrow, and I really do want to apologize, because you guys are really great, and I was really hoping to be able to do some live reviews or live, commentary on some of your guys' picks. So thanks again. I am so sorry for this. I really do apologize. I hope to be able to fix this, so moving forward next week we should not have an issue. Alright guys, I hope you guys have a fantastic evening, morning, wherever you guys are. Thanks again.